we want to ask you a question and would want you to help us simplify it as much as humanly possible. And the question is, what is the role of a leader and a leader and an OD consultant in a post-COVID-19 era? What is the role of a leader and an OD consultant in the post-COVID era?
Okay, thank you, Tosin, and good evening and good afternoon to all of us. My name is Adams, and I'm from Ghana, and I'm the Director of African Operations for Chartered Institute of Leadership and Governance. And especially, I'm also a project management consultant and an architect at the same time. With my, a lot has already been said concerning this topic. And also, I don't know where the post-COVID is coming in, because we are still in the COVID era here in Ghana, because our case keep also rising. So I think people are still thinking of, when we go out of the COVID, then what should we be doing? Then I think I'll start from what should we be doing now, so we even get to the post-COVID era. Because Dr. Justine could bear me a witness. We started, my meeting started, this is the 4th meeting I'm attending today, and they are all being done on Zoom. And I started earlier on today with Dr. Justine, in another meeting, and he had to just rush, and it's my 4th one. Had it not been this issue of Zoom and trying to work from the house, it wouldn't have even been possible. And the way that I even had to host a group of architects also online, because I'm into project management and basically into construction management as well. In fact, I'm also the executive director for Bed Oak, and we are into food production. And especially those of us in food production, where we are into cereal mix and other products, sugar and the rest. This has also really affected us a lot, especially the COVID-19 issue, because prior to the COVID-19, we used to go on campaigns, and we give samples to individuals. We can get close to people, give them sample to try our product, and then people could make a decision and the rest. But because of this COVID-19 era, you cannot do that. You can't even get close to them. People are still expecting you to go 1 meter apart and a whole lot. So it has brought a whole lot of changes. And especially when you are working with sales officers and marketers who are all used to the former way of marketing, the former way of getting clients. And now there is the COVID-19 now, and you can't deal with them. How then would you deal with these issues as a leader in such an organization? How then will you deal with a number of project managers that would have to go to other sites to go and supervise projects on your behalf and still get back your reports? In a nutshell, I would say that either prior or during, leadership roles has always been the same. But it depends on we as the leaders. How then are we going to treat the people? Because now it's the people, they are the machine, they are the ones that are going to move the organization from one state to the other. Because we are not just looking at the COVID-19 era, but rather we are looking at organizational development in the post-COVID-19 era, or during the COVID-19 era. How then will organization develop? And wouldn't be as it used to be even prior to the COVID-19? What are the advantages that even the COVID-19 presents for leaders to make sure that even after the era, there is still going to be a progression? What I would say is, during this era, or even after this era, every leader should be an active listener. Every leader must be an active listener. Because this is the time people are confused. I have had such issues very often. I've had people calling me, the production lines, there is no wheat, there is no rice, we are not getting molasses from our because we are not importing molasses, a number of things, different. How then do you listen to these people and understand them? You listen with the rapt attention to understand and not to respond. Because at this time, people are confused. We've been introduced to something which is very new to us. And people are listening to so many. So as a leader, you should be one first individual to be an active listener. Listening to understand your people. Listening to understand your subordinates. Listening to understand your superiors. The next one I also want to do is what? Honesty. There's something you call candor. Honesty, just be very, very, very honesty. And I call it honesty without any ambiguity. Just be honest with the way you deal with the employees, with the way you deal with other individuals around you, even with the way you deal with your customers. Just be honest, because we are looking at what organizational development. Don't think that we are in the era of COVID-19. So when you are even reducing an active ingredient in your production line, people will not see, people will notice it. How then do you deal with your, we all know it's COVID-19, and people, some companies are basically laying off staff. There's no money and a whole lot of things. So you intentionally, as a leader, also decided to delay salary of your staff because there is COVID-19. How then you ensure there's a proper or there's growth and development in your organization? We are looking at organizational development, and here people is the key. I've always been telling people is the key. Now, the next one is, because we don't really have time. The next one, which is very, very, very important to me, is be consistent, reliable, fact-based communication. Consistent, reliable, fact-based communication. As a leader, check your facts very well. Check your facts very well, because this is new to us. And if you keep picking information anywhere and try to convince your staff with it, it will not bring the kind of development we are expecting. So consistent, reliable, fact-based. So check your facts very well, because you are a leader, and get to know that your people at that point in time, the number of them, they are confused. The next one is empathy. Empathy. Especially some like myself, especially my production line, people would have to come with public transport. When I go to sites and I just go to monitor the masons and carpenters and other one who are also on the site as a project manager, people would have to come with vehicles and public transport and all these things. And they have a whole lot of issues already with the COVID-19, the symptoms, how they could be infected, they could be coming, they will see or hear someone coughing, and they have a whole lot of issues. Empathize with your people. Empathize with your people. Better, you could even have an employee assistance program at this time to cater for this era. Have employee assistance program just to cater for them. Your employers, your staff, who therefore will understand you the more. Most people would want to know, how do the company think of me? What is it in for me? Has to do with the company. How do they even understand what I'm going through before they can even come all out? Now let's learn how to manage hybrid teams. When I talk about hybrid teams, now you will be in your office and making sure that there are different teams working at different things at the same time, because this time they will not be coming to the office, round table meetings and those kind of things any longer. And even if they come, there's still 1 meter, nose masks, a whole lot of protocols comes with COVID-19. So how then would you manage your teams whilst even they are at various places? So it comes with learning the current trends of technologies. You could have everything, you could be a good leader and all those things, but if your technology is not working, if it is not working, we want your staff you want to have a staff meeting, you don't know how to use Zoom, you don't have to use Google Meet, you don't even know how to use any of these technologies. How then you get them? So learn how to manage hybrid teams, the technologies, the skills, what you'll be able to use to do this. Let me summarize. Let me give you my last point so that I can give other people the chance to also come in. Flexibility and adaptability. Be flexible. Just be a little flexible as a leader, because we are looking at organizational development, a number of things. When you are managing computers, when you're managing plans, design, it is so easy. But this is people. You are managing human beings with emotions and the rest. So be flexible and also be adaptable. Because of our time, I'll just also give it back to Tosin, and also at least give the chance to other panelists to also come in.
Thank you very much.